In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this 6-sided box using the mini milk carton die. I started with the die and I cut out 2 pieces, and I cut out just enough paper so that I wasn't wasting any paper on the 4th panel. I just got the 1, 2, 3 panels and the side here. So I cut a piece of 5.5 by 5.5 to fit on here. Then once I cut my 2 pieces, I have stamped it, and I'm using the Bright Hopes stamp set from the Holiday Mini Catalog. And I'm using the snowflake with Always Artichoke. And I just randomly stamped, I'm going to do this side, all over the die. And then I've placed some sticky strip on the tab over here, and I've really creased and folded each of the score lines really well. So I'm going to do that to this one as well. Just going to fold all the score lines really, really well. Especially these diagonal ones. And then you'll notice you don't have a diagonal one in your center piece here, so an easy way to compensate for that is to grab your bone folder and a ruler and just go ahead and, now this isn't centered on this score line here like the other 2 are. So if you want, you can center it, or you can go ahead and center it up here. I'm just going to go ahead and center it up here, because you'll see it's really not going to make that much of a difference exactly where it's centered. You just need some kind of score line there to help you. Alright, so once those are all folded really well, you're going to remove the sticky strip and attach them together. And then on the other side as well. And then I like to just fold over the sides and then bring it together to line it up. Okay, so we've got the beginnings of our box here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to place some sticky strip on some of these tabs. It looks like this one needs to be trimmed a little bit. So I'm going to get a couple pieces here. 3 should be good. I'm going to place them on 3 of my panels here. Okay, and I'm going to start by placing them directly across from each other. So I'm going to remove this one first, and then I'm going to place it, and it's just going to overlap about 1/2 inch as much as I put the sticky strip on. You kind of have to grab it in there and press it as like so. And then you can do the next 2 opposite panels and stick those together. And then the last 2. And this is what creates your hexagon shape. And it helps give stability to the box. So now for the box, I just start pinching. So I'm going to pinch, pinch. I'm going to pinch each side so that I kind of get this design going here. And then I'm going to punch some holes that I'll later add the ribbon to by sort of bending the box so the fold comes out, and just punching a hole right in there. All the way around. Okay, and so our ribbon is going to be threaded through each of those holes. Okay, so now we've got the basic box done. Now we're going to add all the embellishments. And as you can see, I've got a lot of fun embellishments on here. I went ahead and did 3 designs, 2 of each. So we'll start with the tree. So for the tree, I use the pennant punch. And this is a great punch. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp in Always Artichoke the tree. And it's going to be a lot smaller, yes. Go ahead and get a little bit of scrap paper so I don't stamp all over my black. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the tree. And then I'm going to use the pennant punch to punch it out. And I'm just going to slide it in and kind of position it where I'd like it. I like the star to be up there towards the top. And then punch that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer that on top of the other punch from the pennant punch that I've already punched out. And then I'm going to use this small flower punch that comes in a set of 3. And I'm just going to place that on the top. So there I've got my Christmas tree die. And then next for the scallop, I started with cherry cobbler. My scrap piece again, and I used the wreath, some cherry cobbler, and I'm just going to stamp that right on my scallop. So I've got my scallop, and I've used the flower punch to punch out the flower. And the flower punch punches out several layers, so I actually got the flower and the outline, and we're going to use the outline in our third piece, so I'm going to put that aside. And then I used dimensionals to pop it up so that it looks like this. So that's our next one. And then the last one, I started with the tag punch, and you can use the tree again, or if you want, you can use the snowflake. I'm actually going to go ahead and use the snowflake as kind of the pattern behind. So just right there. And then I'm just going to layer that right on the large tag punch. And then I have punched this out. This is from what I used previously, and I'm going to use the multi-purpose mono. I'm just going to add some dots around the flower. And this works really well with things that are very thin and lined, and we're just going to place that around. Tack that down. And then again, we're going to use dimensionals on this flower, and we're going to punch out another one of the little flowers so it looks like this. So now we're going to add these to our design. So I'm just going to pop each of these up on dimensionals too. You're going to use a lot of dimensionals. So there's one. Got the one. And then we're going to do the scallop. Here's the scallop. And then we have the Christmas tree. So those are our 3 designs, and then those are repeated on the other 3 sides. And then for the ribbon, I used the cherry cobbler. So I'm just going to get about, you can do about 16, a little bit over 16 inches. You want to tie a bow. And then you're just going to start threading that through. There you have your very cute 6-sided mini milk carton die box. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.